Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
Alright, in this video I'll share with you why is it I don't celebrate New Year, and how do I, if I have to celebrate, how do I celebrate? And the reason why this topic came up is because one of my clients, he asked me, he always takes my advice and guidance on lots of issues and topics. So he asked me what would I suggest or recommend for him to do during New Year, especially that he has a new girlfriend. Okay, so he gave me a couple of options: book a holiday, 5-star hotel, stay overnight, go to a super VIP restaurant, or go for one of these adventure trips where you can pay for exclusive just for you and your girlfriend or whatever. So he had a couple of ideas. First thing I told him is, you do know who you're asking about celebrating New Year? He said yes, and he laughed. He said, I know you don't celebrate New Year. He's saying, but I wanted your perspective. Is it fine? So I told him, the first things first. When you are rich, when you have money, when you have success, when you have fame, when you have youth on your side, when you're having a good time, you always seek opportunities to enjoy even more, to be where the action is, to be where the celebration, to really want to make every moment count, whether it's your birthday, whether it's your religious festival, whether it's your relatives or friends or whatever special occasions. And yeah, New Year and all that comes in it. But then when you go through hard times and hardships in life, when you go through problems, when there is no money, when you don't have a job, when you don't have friends, when you don't have anyone, when you don't have the means to enjoy yourself, you definitely do not think of all these festivals. You'll realize all of it is a gimmick. Okay, let's say for example you don't have a job. Okay, you don't have a job, you don't have money. Are you going to think of going for a New Year celebration, spending 5 times more? Because they will obviously charge you a premium. So what you generally pay, let's say 1,000, they will charge you 5,000, and they'll slap on the claim that this is New Year, this is a special dish, special entertainment, special whatever. But if you actually look at it, it's the same thing. It's just a theme that they're giving you, and they need a reason to spend the money. Okay, they need a reason to give you to spend the money. Yes, I'm not saying that there is no experience to be had. You do undergo an experience. Okay, it's like for example, I personally know people who have flown down to New York and Manhattan, all these places, or taken an adventure trip to an exotic location with their girlfriend. Some even book 5-star hotels, and they want to celebrate the New Year passionately or romantically. All that I'm aware of, and I'm not saying it is wrong, but it all comes down to you. Now for me, only after I went through tough times, only after I went through no job, no money, and obviously with that comes no friends, no relatives, nobody cares. I realized that only when you're useful or you have the means, People want to hang out with you. I mean, who wants a liability? Obviously, I don't expect someone to piggyback and carry dead weight, my dead weight. And obviously, and for sure, I wouldn't be in the frame of mind. If you don't have a job, you don't have money, you don't have any hope, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. The last thing you're looking for is, have fun, and can't fake it, right? So for me, it is more like I can't forget those days where I went through tough times. It's funny because once upon a time I was the life of the party. I used to DJ for events, I used to MC for events, I used to organize events. So I was there where the action was, and had an amazing time. Amazing. I was responsible for the gifts. I was responsible for planning the event, for executing things, for coordinating things with people. It was fun. It was fun. And, by the time the day is over or the night is over, after you've eaten food and danced and had these games and all that, you're exhausted. And then obviously you sleep. And for those who smoke, drink, and, are in the prime of their youth with their girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, they have a great time. And then the following day, you're just exhausted, you sleep the whole day, and then you get up with a big hangover or a headache. And yes, memories. But in my case, after doing that for so many years, fun, and life of the party and girls and this and that, what is overpowering is the tough times I had. I so vividly remember I've shared this video before, maybe 2 years ago or something, when for those of you who are based in Sharjah, UAE, you will know this. There is a Sharjah Petrofac building. Sharjah Petrofac. It's a tall building, and then there is a bridge. Opposite the bridge, and this goes into a non-city, like non-busy area. It's more like hotels and all that, small, okay, old side of Sharjah. And then it goes to the Sharjah port. So Petrofac building is here. This is the bridge. And apart from the road that goes through the bridge, on the right hand side, that is if you're facing this way with your back towards the Dubai Sharjah highway, this side is like a big area. Like you can see this area, right? A big area filled with sand. Okay, filled with sand. And what's unique about the area is, okay, ahead you can see the road and the lights. But because this area is large and there are no lights and no buildings, it's dark. And because it's dark, when you look up at the night sky, you can see the stars. Okay, if there are lights, you can't see the stars. But I'll tell you, if you go for one of those desert drives, or if you go to, let's say, a forest camping, and there are no lights, and you see the sky, you'll see absolute black darkness. And you'll see those dots, the stars and the celestial bodies. It's a sight to behold, from the silence to the visuals. So when you're there, what I used to do is I used to face my back towards the light and look up, and whatever darkness I could see, I would see the stars and stand alone. And mind you, remember, this is me at my worst moment in my life, and no money, no friends, no nothing, standing alone. And obviously, because it's December 25th, it's going to be New Year, it's, people are gearing up to go to the venue to celebrate. So from the time that is 10 o'clock in the night onwards till midnight, The traffic reduces, people are no longer outside, they are all at home. And from 11 to 12, it's complete, like empty. Only people who are doing work or whatever, they travel. Rest, nobody does. It's very quiet. So over there, when I, experience no noise and look up to the stars in the sky, you just think to yourself, what is life? You have all these introspective questions. What is life? What are you doing? What is your purpose? Why you're doing what you're doing? What all you did? Why did you do it? What is next? So all these questions, and you totally ask yourself, where am I right now? What is the point of my existence? What do I want to do? So in the 1 hour until New Year, until the clock strikes 12, you're left with that silence. And you reflect back on life and think, okay, once upon a time I was crazy about these New Year and countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! And the DJ blares the music and people are dancing and jumping and confetti is flying and all that whistles and noise making stuff and lights and food and drink and all that. But then when you compare and contrast being alone, you just keep quiet. You just think. And then you ask, was it all worth it? Why did you do all this? What did it accomplish? What did it achieve? And, by the time it was coming to 12, I was looking at my, not my watch, sorry. I was looking at my smartphone. iPhone 6, I think I had that time. I saw a few more minutes before 12. And across the horizon, I could see Burj Khalifa. And the minute it struck 12, obviously the Burj Khalifa lights up. It's a sight to behold. I mean, the amount of work, fireworks, engineering, planning, expenses, crazy. And you see it exploding with all the, lights and effects and laser lights in the sky and Happy New Year. And you can distinctly hear everybody making some noise. You can hear lots of noise, people screaming from their balconies. And because we were near the ocean, you can hear the ships and boats moo. They'll, blare their horn. Okay, so all this goes on. And for the next 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, the madness, the excitement, okay, the lights, the fireworks, okay. Once that is over, people are now focused on the events, okay. And there once again, I find myself in the silence, quiet. There's nothing. And then, I stood there and would think, and sometimes blank. And I asked myself, what is the point of all this? Why do people do all this? And once after it's over, I slowly walked back to my room and I sat on my bed. Waited until I felt sleepy, went to sleep, got up the next day, felt like another day, same day. So ever since I had that experience, I've gone through ups and downs in my life where there were many moments of silence. Like, for example, when I came to Thailand here, I was starting from scratch. I was alone in my house. When I lost everything and went through that phase where I had nothing, moments of silence. There have been ups and downs in my life. But what I've realized is the moments of silence, solitude, and reflection and preparation for what is to come was much better than simply doing what everyone else is doing. So ever since that day, I stuck with this template. Now, the only difference being is when my wife and baby, they were there, I would not go out during the New Year. I wouldn't go. The reason being is New Year people are drinking, some are driving under the influence of alcohol, and majority of the incidents, at least in UAE or the Middle East, take place during New Year. New Year, Eid is, for Muslim countries, Eid. When they announce Eid, the maximum number of deaths, road accidents take place. Then comes this Christmas, especially New Year. And the reason for it is alcohol and the eagerness for parties. And people, when you are under the influence and when you're excited, and also I understand this in the Middle East countries, there is always a fog in the night. And the fog is a killer. Even if you park your car at the side and someone is driving at top speed, instantaneous death. You can read the papers. There is so many incidents like that. So I make it a point, New Year we don't go out. Okay? Wait for the next day. Next day people are overcoming a hangover. The following day, when everyone's going back to work and after 2 days, 3 days, nobody wants to celebrate, that is where I take my family and we go out and we eat something. So it's like where people, what they do is, where instead of spending 1,000, they'll spend 5,000, 5 times or 10 times more for just a few basic changes in the menu or fireworks or whatever. And yes, festive celebration. So instead of spending 1,000, they'll spend 5 or 10. And then it comes back to the original price because now nobody is celebrating. And the funny thing is sometimes they even give you a discount because now nobody is spending. So instead of spending 1,000, you might end up spending just 40%. I know you might say, hey man, you're fucking stingy. Each to his own. So if you want to spend 10 times more, good for you. But for me, I would rather have multiple number of those experiences at a reasonable cost. Like I don't mind spending the actual cost. Why should I spend more at a hyped up cost? And the money saved, I buy gifts or I give them the money and tell them you do what you like. So they feel very happy about it, So that's how I have celebrated or kept my New Year's. Now, what did I tell my client is, I told him this, see, listen, you can go for any of the options if you want to afford. But if you're asking me, my opinion, okay, I don't want you to follow what I say. I want you to evaluate and decide what is best for you. I told him, you can either do something unique, like order a takeout, okay? Be at home, cook together, watch a movie together, and during New Year, sit outside the balcony and, have this moment privately for yourselves, okay? If that would be a good idea. And if you really have to go out and really have to spend money, go out when the prices come back to normal. So instead of just one day spending 5 times more, maybe you can have 5 holidays together. Suppose you spend, instead of 1,000, they're charging 5,000 for a hotel stay. Example I'm giving. So you have 5 days extra you can spend when the cost comes down. That's the benefit of off-season. So only difference is you'll not see fireworks, you'll not see where all the action is, you'll not be where the noise is. If that is important to you, then go for that. But I wouldn't go, and especially in Dubai, the problem is the traffic jam. Oh my goodness, I don't know how people... sometimes people get stuck in traffic for 6 hours and they're absolutely fine with that. 6 hours. Unless I was organizing an event or, I was a lead performer, I wouldn't do that. So, anyway, that's me, I guess. I guess as you age, as you go older, you realize what is important to you and you do that accordingly. So for me, given I've crossed a certain phase in my life. Today, what I value more is me defining what is important to me, not how the world defines. Just because everyone's jumping and dancing for a particular day, it doesn't make any sense. Like I always say, same shit, different day. Tomorrow, after New Year, your life is going to be the same. What has changed? So for me, how I look at it is, it's a normal day. It's a normal day. Just the date is changing. The number is changing. The excitement and celebration is the meaning that people give that particular day. So what is left? What is left is you choose how you wish to spend your time, your money, your energy, your plans. So for me, my brand is important. My work is important. I have to strategize. And if I have to have a good time, I'll go out with my wife and my kid. After all the jing bang, everything is over. And the savings that I have, I'll pass it on to them. Let them, buy something worthwhile when the prices come down. Isn't that a more sensible and common sense kind of approach? So that's it. That's how I celebrate my New Year and whatever other festivals. Yeah, the only exception to this rule is if there's a religious festival and my wife, and obviously she likes to include my baby, they like to celebrate, you can do whatever you're praying or in front of their statues or whatever. But no alcohol, no parties, no nothing. You want to celebrate something that is spiritual, then you do what is required. Not commercializing it, not spending money, and not inviting people over to have a jing bang and all that. That is all bullshit. So that's my definition of celebration. And remember, whether it's your marriage or whether it is, it can be a marriage, it can be a birthday, it can be anything. Keep it meaningful. If it's meaningful, it has a purpose. And make it special in a way. Focus on things that money can't buy. Not what you have to pay money to experience. Okay? So, I value any day. I value sitting together as a family or just having a good time or spending quiet time with the family. And getting them what they like, rather than all this noise, jing bang, crowds. And yeah, especially overpriced food and without a doubt, overpriced alcohol and unwanted relatives. So that's my theory about life. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree, disagree? What do you feel? I would like to know your thoughts. Alright, having said that, this is me signing off. You guys take care. Ciao.